Hi everyone, Dr. Zach here. Happy Wednesday, November 6th. My guess is that a lot of you, like me, are probably a little jet lagged this morning from staying up past your bedtime. And I did. I stayed up past my bedtime last night. Actually, I went to bed at my bedtime, but for some reason I was just restless. I couldn't sleep. I got about 2.5 hours of sleep last night. And it wasn't because I was up all night waiting and watching and seeing what the news was going to tell me. Um, I was just kind of restless. But nevertheless, I know that Tuesday, November 5th, had come at us with a lot of hype and a lot of excitement and a lot of anticipation for what it was going to do, the impact that it was going to have on our nation and on our future. And as a result of that, I just want to take a minute and say thank you to everybody who reached out to me on November 5th and wished me a happy birthday. And that now we can just kind of go on with life because it's now Wednesday, November 6th. Actually, on a more serious note, we did have a big election. A lot of people are calling it the biggest election in our lifetime. And whether you believe that or not, whether it's turned out the way you want it or not, here's what I want to share with you is that today is Wednesday. It's a new day, and it's kind of like yesterday was a new day when it started. And we can let the circumstances, the noise, the news, all of the things that are going on around us define how our day is going to be. We could even let the amount of sleep we had or what our HRV score was or our readiness score or whatever biometric we use to measure what our physiology is determine the kind of day we're going to have. But I want to encourage you to take and look at today as this is a day that the Lord has made and that we can choose to rejoice and to be glad in it because, regardless of who won the election and what proposition went through and what didn't and how it aligned with what you wanted, what your values, what your beliefs are, you woke up today. And if you're like me, I woke up in Colorado to our first fresh snow. And as I saw the snow that blanketed, covered the earth, I just thought of God's goodness that washes us whiter than snow. So regardless of the circumstances, the situation that's going on, I choose today to take and to rejoice because God is good and He has given me another day to live. And that, you know what, the outcome of the election hasn't changed that. I was able to do the same thing yesterday and I'm planning on doing the same thing tomorrow. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to do that. But I do want to share one thing that I am excited about with the outcome of the election. And it actually has to do with neither one of the presidential candidates, or at least neither one of them that probably most people voted for, but one that was actually on the ticket in a lot of states because he had decided to run for president earlier. And this is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And as things were building up through the campaign season, he recognized that he didn't have a chance to make it to president. And but he wanted to align with one of the candidates because he felt like he had a bigger mission, something that for the last 19 years he felt like God has put on his heart to make an impact for it. He's put a ton of energy into it. He's been really diligent in working toward it. And it's about making America healthy again. So he talked to Harris, he talked to Trump, and as he shared his values and what his hopes were, he aligned more with Trump and the way that Trump did things. And Trump was eager to say, yeah, I want you to take and run with this. And so now we've got this, in addition to make America great again, and whether, again, that aligns with your beliefs or not, hopefully all of us want to make America healthy again. Because right now in the United States, we have more chronic disease than any other part of the world, any other nation in the world. We make up 5% of the world's population, and we take 70% of the world's drugs. More drugs in this country than all of the other countries combined. We look at the fentanyl crisis, with the opioids, the painkillers, and the opioid addictions, is that 90+% of those problems are happening here in the United States. We dominate this, and we are the least healthy country in the world. We dominate in obesity. We actually lead the world in autism spectrum disorders. And we have 54% of our children that are chronically ill and taking medication every day for diseases that they have, and that's not the way that it's supposed to be. We see that we have more than half of what's on the shelves in our grocery stores is outlawed or is against the law in most parts of the world because it's considered toxic to our health. It actually destroys our neurological function. It destroys our kidneys and our liver and actually causes cellular damage. and impairs us, causes health problems. And so as we have RFK Jr. that comes along, he says, I want to make America healthy again. And he's got two things that he's already proposed right off the bat, and that hopefully, come January 20th, we'll start to see this happen. One is getting fluoride out of our water systems. Fluoride has been added for decades under the lie that it prevents cavities in our teeth. And it does not, but here's what it does, is it actually is neurotoxic and has been shown to lower IQ scores. And so what we see is that when our IQ scores are lowered, when we're not able to think and formulate thoughts as well, we're more easily influenced. And there is an agenda that's making that happen. That's why there's neurotoxins in our food. There's neurotoxins in our drugs. There's neurotoxins in our water. And it's in an effort to make us more easily influenced, so we're more easily enslaved. Well, come January 20th, the proposition is to get rid of that, get it out of our water system so that we can actually drink stuff that's not going to be destroying our brain cells. The other agenda he has right off the bat is to get rid of pharmaceutical advertising direct to consumers here in the United States. Currently, the way that it stands is it's only in the United States and New Zealand that drug companies can advertise directly to you and I, to consumers. And they have this great campaign where every other commercial that's on TV at night, every other full-page ad that you open up in your magazine that you're reading is a drug ad that tells you that you probably have this disease. And they've come up with acronyms for everything that affects humanity, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, and they've called it a disease. And there's a drug for it, so they can get us to walk into our doctor's office and say, ooh, I think I've got QRST, and I should probably be taking this drug. And the doctors get a kickback from the drug companies anyway for writing scripts, so you get it. And we end up becoming the most heavily medicated society in the history of the world. Hopefully that's going to change. This is what I'm excited about, is that we do have an opportunity to let our voices be heard. And even as there was an election that took place, and that there was the greatest comeback in political history that a lot of people are saying, it means that there is power to what we do, the actions that we take, and that we can throw our support behind the things that we believe in. So as a healthcare provider, as somebody that health is one of the most important parts of my life, it affects everything that I do, every thought I make, I process, every action that I take. Most of my conversations are based upon it. I'm excited with the opportunity, the proposition that we can make America healthy again. So I'm going to encourage you, pay attention to things that are going on with this. I would even encourage you to take a look at CHD, the Children's Health Defense. And this is something that RFK Jr. put together years ago. And he exposes a lot of the things that have been put against the American people, especially our children, to make them sicker so that they're more dependent upon medications and more easily influenced. So with that said, today's a great day. Make it a great day. Rejoice and be glad in it, even if things didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to last night. But today you can choose to be happy. With that said, make it a great one, and we'll be in touch. God bless you.